In this video, we'll be talking about the PMP 450v 4x4 subscriber module. This product supports frequencies in the range of 5.15 to 7.125 gigahertz and is capable of providing 600 megabits per second in a 40 plus 40 megahertz channel. Future support for 80 and 100 megahertz channels will provide enhanced performance with up to 1.5 gigabits per second of aggregate throughput. As part of this video, we'll be covering the PMP 450v out-of-the-box components, physical features of the radio, preparing for installation, and installation of the PMP 450v 4x4 subscriber module. Let's begin by looking at the components that make up the PMP 450v subscriber module. The main radio assembly, a reflector dish, a subreflector tube, an L bracket, a pole mount bracket, a bag containing all hardware needed for assembly, and 2 cable glands. Let's look at the radio assembly. This is the main Gigabit Ethernet port, which is used to provide power and communications for the unit. This is the SFP port, which accepts optional fiber or copper SFP plus modules for network data and control. There is one additional port on the side of the radio. The aux audio port outputs the alignment tone, which can be used to precisely aim the dish during installation. Note the alignment port accepts a standard 3.5mm audio jack for direct connection of a pair of headphones. The aux audio port also supports GPS synchronization output to a remote access point, along with power out for an optional UGPS or CN pulse module for GPS location reporting. A cable gland sized for this port is included in the box. On the side of the radio module, there are a row of LEDs, which indicate power applied, session status, sync status, and link speed and activity for the main Ethernet port. An additional LED indicates the status of the optional SFP port. The top side of the radio module features an SMA port for connection of a GPS puck, which is used for reporting the GPS location of a unit. The puck must be ordered separately and is supplied in a kit that includes a mounting bracket and its hardware. Assembly requires the use of a 13mm and a 27mm wrenches, and T20 and T30 Torx drivers. A torque wrench is optional but recommended. First, remove the rubber protective cover from the subreflector tube and attach the tube to the reflector dish. Secure it with 4 Torx T20 by 8mm screws, torquing them to 1.6 Newton meters. It's important to note that the locating pins on the subreflector must align with the holes on the dish. The pins are not symmetrically located, and the dish will only fit over the subreflector in one orientation. For this next step, it is convenient to place the L bracket on the edge of the work surface with a pole mount surface facing downwards. The dish and the subreflector assembly can then be bolted to the L bracket from above. Next, attach the L bracket to the dish and the subreflector assembly. Align the L bracket so that the locating pins on the subreflector tube align with the holes in the bracket. Insert 4 Torx T30 by 12mm screws through the dish and into the threaded holes of the bracket. Tighten to 6 Newton meters. Now we can attach the pole mounting bracket. This bracket may be supplied already assembled, but if it's not, insert the 2 M8 by 120mm bolts from the rear through the holes of the bracket. The bolt heads should lock into the slots in the bracket. Make sure to secure them in place with 2 M8 nuts and then tighten them to 5 Newton meters with a 13mm wrench. Attach the pole mounting bracket to the L bracket using 2 M8 by 12mm bolts. Loosely tighten the bolts to around 1 Newton meter to allow for the adjustment of the tilt angle. Now it's time to mount the radio module to the completed subreflector dish and bracket assembly. Again, for your convenience, it's helpful to locate the radio module near the edge of the work surface to provide a clearance for the L bracket. Remove the protective cover from the antenna feed opening and to align the radio with a subreflector tube until it slots into place. Secure it with 4 Torx T30 by 16 mm screws and tighten to 6 Newton meters. As previously noted, the radio module will only fit into the dish and the subreflector assembly in one direction. Make sure it's orientated correctly during the assembly and do not attempt to force it into position. The PMP 450v subscriber module is now ready for mounting. Here we'll demonstrate how to attach the unit to a vertical pole. Maneuver the radio and the dish assembly onto the mast and move the pole mount clamp bar into place. Tighten the nuts to hold it in position and torque to 10 Newton meters. Loosen off the bolts attaching the L bracket to the pole mount bracket to adjust the tilt to the desired range. When the desired tilt angle is set, simply tighten the nuts to 8 Newton meters. Now we'll install the main RJ45 Ethernet cable using the gland provided. Disassemble the gland into its component parts: the gland body, the rubber seal, and the retainer nut. Pass the Ethernet cable through the retainer nut, followed by the gland body. Insert the Ethernet cable firmly into the main port on the subscriber module. The radio should power up. Screw the gland body into the subscriber module's main port receptacle. It can be tightened with a 27 mm wrench to form a good seal. Slide the rubber seal over the cable and push it into the gland body ring. Be sure that the seal is orientated correctly with the side of the indentation facing outwards to engage the teeth of the gland body. Verify that it's fully seated before proceeding. Thread the retaining nut into the gland body, making sure that the Ethernet cable is fully pushed into the gland to avoid straining on the connector. Tighten the retaining nut until the rubber ring holds the cable firmly in place and forms a good, weather-tight seal. The cable gland, sized for the aux audio port, is also included with the 450v subscriber module. This gland uses the same design as the one supplied in the main Ethernet port. An optional GPS antenna kit is available for use for the PMP 450v 4x4 and 2x2 subscriber modules. The kit must be installed in order for the subscriber module to report its GPS location, such as when using the automatic frequency coordination feature in the 6 GHz band. The kit is supplied with the GPS antenna puck, a support bracket for either wall or pole mounting, and all hardware required for installation. In this video, we'll show you how to install the GPS antenna to a pole and connect it to the subscriber module. First, choose a mounting location for the puck. For optimal performance, the GPS puck should have a clear view of a large area of the sky as possible, free of any major obstructions. If a suitable location is not available within the length of the puck's pigtail cable, an approved coaxial extension cable with an SMA connector may be used to extend the reach. Mount the support bracket to the pole using the supplied zip tie. Thread the zip tie through the holes on the bracket to secure it to the pole. Insert the pigtail cable into the opening in the support bracket and feed it through until the puck clips into the bracket. You then can secure the cable to the mast by using a suitable zip tie. Remove the sealing cap from the GPS port on the radio module. Pull the plastic seal back from the SMA connector on the pigtail cable and thread it into the GPS port. Tighten the connector, preferably using an SMA torque wrench if available. Now slide the plastic seal back down over the connection to shield it from the elements. Your installation of the GPS antenna is now complete.